welcome you back to Mark Tree, Arkansas for our Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game. Also brought to you by Ritter Communications, Tubetown, Channel 21. So make sure you check out the replay next week. We'll have that coming up for you. About 5 minutes left in the pregame segment here. Getting ready for East Poinsett County to take on the Mark Tree Indians, and once again should be a fantastic game tonight. East Poinsett County coming off a win in their last game against Cross County, a 69-40 winner over the Cross County Thunderbirds. East Poinsett County will take on McCrory on the road after this game, and Mark Tree coming into this game after a tough loss at Rector earlier this week, 69-63, the final score of that game against the Rector Cougars. A rematch from the semifinal round in the NEA tournament. Of course, in that semifinal round against Rector, Mark Tree won that game. Rector getting a little bit of revenge earlier this week. Mark Tree is going to stay here for a two-game homestand. Of course, this game with East Poinsett County, they'll also take on Augusta next week. A packed house here tonight in the gymnasium, and when I say packed house, I think that's a gross understatement. I don't think this place could be any more full than it is right now. Our broadcast position in a very inconvenient location, but it's going to have to do, and we're going to make do, because this is going to be a fantastic game. And obviously everybody in East Poinsett County, everybody in Lepanto and all the areas in between, they wanted to come out and see this game tonight, and for good reason. These teams are going to put on a show, and that's no doubt. Not only is it a rivalry game, but once again, these two teams both boasting extreme star power. Two young players on each team just providing significant points from the floor. Each team has a great bench squad. We'll go over the lineups here shortly. We'll start with the East Poinsett County Warriors coming into the game underneath Coach Josh Hill. Their starters most likely will be Byron Scales, number 1. Number 2, Aaron Scales. Of course, they are brothers. If you've ever seen the two, you would know they look absolutely nothing alike. And I'm being completely sarcastic when I say that. Jamar Sturdivant, number 23. Paul Pilgrim, number 24. And Malik Monk, number 35. Of course, Malik Monk, the freshman phenom, 6'3" freshman, and he is outstanding. If you haven't gotten a chance to see this young man play basketball, you need to do yourself a favor and come out and watch him play sometime. I guarantee you, your jaw will drop. For the Mark Tree Indians, they come into this game under Coach Barbara Wilburn. More than likely, their starters will be number 0, Darius Ivy, number 23, Alan Buchanan, another player that if you haven't got to see, you have just absolutely got to get out and watch this young man play. He's about 5'11", and he plays like he's 6'6". By the way, he's also the starting center for Mark Tree. How many times have you ever heard of a 5'11" starting center? Also coming on the floor for Mark Tree, Chris Montague, number 15. We like to call him the garbage man because he's always there to clean up the trash underneath the basket. And of course, Daniel Rucker as well, one of the players for Mark Tree, number 3, and Terry Carter, number 32. Those are more than likely your starters for the Mark Tree Indians. Once again, about 2 minutes left to go here in our pregame segment. We'll go ahead and take a minute-and-a-half break. When we come back, we'll be set for the tip-off between East Poinsett County and Mark Tree. It's all part of your Barton Power Sports big game right here on 103.9 The Game.
Until 10 p.m. At 7:48 p.m. Dark. This has now been upgraded to a tornado warning. We have confirmation of a tornado on the ground. You need to seek emergency shelter immediately. Take cover now. Move to an interior room away from...
We welcome you back to Mark Tree for Barton Power Sports. Big game here on 103.9 The Game. Andy made us sitting courtside, all up top in everybody's way, apparently, here at Martree. Once again, a packed house here tonight, and we had to pick the best spot, and some people are sitting around us, and man, they're kind of leaning in and out. Once again, it is a absolute packed house here tonight. There's not any more room, I don't think, for anybody else to come into this gymnasium right now. You can definitely tell the atmosphere is that of a rivalry game. You can tell that these teams are separated by just 15 miles of road, and they're going to leave it all out here on the court tonight. Martree Indians getting set to take on their rival from right down the road, the East Poinsett County Warriors. And right now they're bringing out the starters onto the court. And we've got a correction for Martree. Connor Fields will be coming into the game early. He'll be one of the starters for Martree, as well as Kedrick Tyler, number 22. So your starters for Martree will be number 1, Connor Fields, number 15, Chris Montague, number 22, Kedrick Tyler, number 0, Darius Ivy, and number 23, Alan Buchanan. Coming off the bench for the Martree Indians, Terry Carter, number 32, Keelan Perry, number 12, Cameron Mitchell, number 2, Tyree Wofford, number 5, Hunter Pitts, number 14, Brian McKinney, number 31, Michael Nesby, number 11, and Daniel Rucker, number 3. For East Poinsett County on the floor right now, Byron Scales, number 1, Aaron Scales, number 2, Jamar Sturdivant, number 23, number 24, Paul Pilgrim, and number 35, the freshman phenom, getting set to jump off with Alan Buchanan right now at center court. Malik Monk, number 35. We'll run down the rest of the lineup for EPC here in a moment. There's the tip, and Martree is going to come away with the tip to begin the game. Darius Ivy will run the point for the Indians here to start the first quarter. Ball on the right wing in the corner for Fields. Fields moves it back up top for Darius Ivy. He's closely guarded by Byron Scales. Moving it around to the left corner now for Fields. As they're double teaming Fields in the corner, he lob passes it out to Ivy near the top of the key. Now he's working on Sturdivant. Shot from about 15 feet out, no good. Malik Monk with the rebound. 1-on-3 as Malik Monk charges into the lane, puts up a shot, and they're going to get him for his first offensive foul. Great job by Darius Ivy, setting his feet in the paint and drawing the charge. Malik Monk picks up his first, and that's the first team foul here on East Poinsett County in the first quarter. 7:20 left to play, and already fast-paced action between these two rival teams. Connor Fields with it in the corner. East Poinsett County in their red jerseys, and there's an air ball shot launched from Kedrick Tyler, no good. And now going the other way with East Poinsett County, wide open three-pointer from Malik Monk, no good. Alan Buchanan with the rebound, 2-on-2 as he sprints down to the other end of the court and had it swatted out of his hands and out of bounds by Malik Monk. So it'll stay right here on Martree's end of the court underneath their own basket. Martree running from left to right on your radio dial. They're in their home white uniforms with black lettering, black trim. Ivy to inbound it, gets it out to Fields. Fields bounce pass in the corner. Now Fields gets it back up top, guarded by Sturdivant. Now they're working it around the perimeter. Fields back with it up top, working to his left. He'll hand it off to Ivy as Ivy works towards the top of the key. 2-3 zone being ran by East Poinsett County here in the first quarter. Ball on the right wing for Tyler. And now he's going to get it to Fields in the corner. Martree very patient here on their second offensive possession, trying to get a good shot. And there's a deep three-point shot launched by Tyler, no good. East Poinsett County gets the rebound. Pass is stolen by Alan Buchanan. Shot from the free throw line, no good. And Aaron Scales comes down with a rebound. Byron Scales, rather, for East Poinsett County. Warriors going the other way now. Mookie Sturdivant at the top of the key, leaves it on the right wing for Aaron Scales. Scales will back out near the timeline. 6:10 left to play here in the first quarter. Scales over to Sturdivant. He thought about the deep three. He'll leave it for Byron over in the corner. Now to Aaron. Aaron, hop step. Shot no good. Gets his own board. Lost it. His brother's going to get the rebound, and now he'll back it out for Mookie Sturdivant at the top of the key. Mookie, of course, one of the newest players to sign with Arkansas State. There's a three-point shot from Mookie. Nothing but net. And the first points of the game go to Mookie Sturdivant, 3-0, East Poinsett County. And Darius Ivy tried to launch a pass on the baseline to the garbage man, Chris Montague, and it'll go out of bounds. And now East Poinsett County with the basketball once again. EPC in their away red uniforms, black trim, white letters. And Mookie Sturdivant with the ball around the perimeter. He'll skip pass it over to the corner to Malik Monk. Now they work it back to Sturdivant for three, and Mookie hits another one. Mookie Sturdivant with a quick 6 points here, and EPC on top 6-0, 5:15 left to play in the first as Ivy brings it across the timeline for Mark Tree. Kedrick Tyler with the basketball works to his left for Ivy. Ivy back to Tyler. Tyler puts it on the floor. He'll move it in the corner. Bounce pass, tried to go underneath the basket for Buchanan, and now on the other end, Malik Monk got numbers, puts a shot up in the paint, and he'll go to the line. Shot no good, but a foul called on number 1, Connor Fields. He'll pick up his first and Mark Tree's first team foul. 2 shots now for Malik Monk. Just an absolute specimen on the floor. Malik Monk, 6'3" freshman, as he rims in and out on his first free throw attempt. And second one on the way here shortly. Referee letting Alan Buchanan know his shirt's a little untucked. He's going to tuck it back in here. Second shot on the way for Malik, and Malik nails it. So now 7-0, 4:55 left to play here in the first quarter. There's a 3-point shot from Kedrick Tyler and another air ball. An offensive rebound from Connor Fields. He puts it up and in off the offensive rebound. Now 7-2. Mark Tree trailing by 5. 4:40 left to play in the first. Bounce pass in the corner. There's a 3-point shot from Byron rather, and it rims in and out. Rebound Mark Tree. Darius Ivy on the other end. Lob pass underneath the bucket for Tyler. Tyler caught it, puts the shot up on the other side, and it's no good. Aaron Scales with a rebound. Aaron charges towards the bucket, puts up a shot off the glass, no good, and Tyler comes down with the rebound for Mark Tree. Lob pass on the other end, and I'll tell you what, Alan Buchanan had a wide open lane to the basket. He was about to throw that one home for sure, and a great job there by Aaron Scales getting his hand on that. He's going to get called for his first personal foul, and that's the second team foul on East Poinsett County, and it was a clear path foul. So that means Alan Buchanan's going to be down here shooting these free throws all alone, and he misses the first one. Alan Buchanan is one of the most amazing athletes you will ever see on a basketball court. Once again, a 5'11" senior, and he's also the starting center at 5'11" as he misses his second free throw. 0 for 2 on that trip. The score remains 7-2 with 4:15 left to play here in the first. Alan Buchanan has got about a 40-inch vertical, which is pretty astounding considering he's as tall as he is. 3-point shot from the corner. Connor Fields makes it a 2-point lead for East Poinsett County. Now 7-5 after that 3-point shot from Mark Tree. Sturdivant in the backcourt, moves it across the timeline for Scales. Scales back to Sturdivant. Now they pass it back to Scales. Aaron Scales, nobody on him, so he'll launch a 3-point shot. No good. His brother fighting with a rebound with Alan Buchanan. Buchanan comes away with it. Buchanan pass in the lane for Montague. Montague puts up a shot. Now he'll go to the line as he was fouled hard as he went up by Aaron Scales. The two Scales brothers on the floor, very good players for East Poinsett County. Byron Scales, the older, 6'3" junior, and the younger sophomore, Aaron Scales, 6'1". Both very, very good basketball players. Good football players as well, I might add, as Montague sinks his first free throw, and now it's a 1-point game, 7-6. Mark Tree trailing by 1. 3:45 left to play here in the first quarter as Montague steps to the line for his second free throw attempt. He'll get settled. He's going to dribble it 3 times, spins it in his hands. Shot is up, and it's good. Montague 2 for 2 on that trip to the line, and now we've got ourselves a tie ball game. All knotted up at 7, 3:40 as Mookie hands it off to Malik at the timeline. Malik working to his left now for Sturdivant, now in the corner for Byron Scales rather. Now for Malik Monk on the right side. Deep 3-point shot from Mookie off the front of the rim, no good. Paul Pilgrim with the offensive board and the putback. Paul Pilgrim, 6-foot junior, gets his first 2 points of the game, and quickly on the other end, nice shot on the baseline from Daniel Rucker, who's now in the game for Mark Tree, and he ties it back up at 9. And Malik almost had that one stolen away from him, and now they find TJ Young in the corner. Up to Malik. Now Mookie's going to get it. Hop step in the paint. Nice hop step into the lane, but Mookie couldn't nail the floater. Now scrambling for the ball, Daniel Rucker's going to come away with it for Mark Tree, and he's going to be guarded by Malik. Now in the corner for Connor Fields, lob pass up top for Ivy, swinging it over to the left side for Rucker. 2:40 left to play here in the first, all knotted up at 9, EPC and Mark Tree. Rucker on the left wing, feeds it baseline for Buchanan. He spins around Paul Pilgrim and lays it in with a nice finger roll. And Alan Buchanan's on the board with his first 2 of the night. Mookie's going to walk it slowly across the timeline. He'll be picked up by Fields, and he'll hand it off to Malik on the right side of the court. Over to Mookie. He thought about the three-point shot. He'll give it up for Byron with a 3. Byron's three-point shot from the corner, no good. Paul Pilgrim got the rebound and a little shove from behind there, I believe, on Chris Montague. He's going to pick up his first personal foul. And it's the second team foul on Mark Tree here in the first half. Mookie rather, in the corner. Now they swing it around up top for Malik. Malik, shot from the free throw line off the front of the rim, no good. Ivy with the rebound, going the other way with Mark Tree now. Ivy goes around Malik, puts a shot up off the glass and good. Darius Ivy with his first 2 points in the game, the lead up to 4 now for Mark Tree. They trailed 2-7 a moment ago and have since gone on 11-2 run. 13-9 is the score. Pass in the corner is going to be tipped out of bounds, and Byron Scales looking at the referee, wondering why that wasn't EPC basketball. It'll go the other way with Mark Tree. And quickly into the front court. Mark Tree wasting no time on this possession. Shot in the paint, good from Daniel Rucker. Now 15-9. A 13-point run here for Mark Tree. There's a three-point shot from Malik Monk, and Malik's on the board now with a three-pointer of his own. 15-12 now. The lead trimmed to 3 for East Poinsett County. 15-12, Mark Tree leads. 1:05 left to play in the first. Ivy works to the right side of the court, now back up to the top. Now they're going to swing it in the corner for Ivy for 3. Ivy with a three-pointer. Darius Ivy with 5 points here in the first quarter. 18-12 now. 51 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Pass up top for Malik. Malik goes into the lane, puts up a nice floater over Terry Carter. Shot no good. Malik Monk with 2 offensive rebounds and a third. The putback finally good for Malik Monk. Count it and 1. And the foul going to go on Alan Buchanan, his first of the game. Third team foul for Mark Tree in the first half, as Malik Monk will head to the line for the and 1 opportunity, trying to make it a 3-point deficit for EPC, and he does. Nailed it. 18-15 now with 38 seconds left to play here in the first. Ivy in the front court quickly for the Indians of Mark Tree. The Indians made it all the way to the final round in the NEA tournament this year. Fell just short of the Bay Yellow Jackets. And Ivy content to let the clock run down and take the last shot of the first quarter, up by 3. Coach Barbara Wilburn on the sideline for Mark Tree. Now shouting out instructions. Ivy leaves it in the corner for Rucker. Rucker hands it to Terry Carter. Carter, spin move, baseline, puts it in with 2 seconds left to play in the first. Count it, and he'll go to the line. What an amazing move in the post from Terry Carter, as Paul Pilgrim picks up his first personal foul. And now each team with 3 team fouls apiece here in the first. Terry Carter trying to make it a 6-point lead for Mark Tree. Off the front of the rim, 2 seconds left, no good, and over the back is going to be called on Daniel Rucker, his first, and now the 4th team foul for Mark Tree in the first half. 0.6 seconds left. Inbound pass is going to go to Mookie. Mookie launches it at the buzzer, and it goes way over the goal. So we're in the first quarter. EPC trailing Mark Tree by 5. 20-15 is your score after 1. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Make that a minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the second quarter of action right here for your Barton Power Sports big game on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown Channel 21.
Over the past 60 years, First Delta Bank has been a model of community banking to Eastern Poinsett County. At First Delta Bank, our important decisions are made locally by people with hometown values and who know you as a person, not just an account number. Just like the fertile farmland of the Delta, First Delta Bank has a strong history and solid foundation of supporting our communities in eastern Poinsett County. First Delta Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Temps Plus Staffing, our business is a people business, and we're really good at what we do, whether you're looking for a clerical, industrial, or some other type of employment. Our staff knows where to find the right job for you that offers growth potential, benefits packages, and great pay. Stop by our office in Blytheville or Osceola, or check our website today. Temps Plus Staffing. Top jobs, reliable staff, great people.
Andy Manus joining you once again from Mark Tree as the Indians on top of their rival East Poinsett County Warriors 20-15 to start the second quarter. EPC with the ball to start the second quarter. Three-point shot from the left corner from Byron Scales rather. And man, I cannot get those two straight as they look a lot alike. Offensive rebound got by EPC, shot from Mookie Sturdivant, no good, and here comes Mark Tree going the other way. Mark Tree running from left to right on your radio. Darius Ivy goes baseline, puts a shot up off the glass, no good. Great contest there from EPC's defense. Quickly on the other end, TJ Young with a three-point shot. Shot no good. Alan Buchanan now on a fast break attempt, throws it ahead to Ivy. Ivy off the glass with his right hand, good for two. Ivy with 7 points here in the game, and now 22-15. A 7-point lead for the Indians. Warriors with the basketball in the front court. Mookie with it. Gets it in the paint for Byron. Byron puts up a shot and he'll be fouled by Alan Buchanan. Buchanan picks up his second personal foul, and that'll send Byron Scales to the line. (22-15), 6:52 left to play here in the first half rather. Scales, first free throw attempt, no good. Rims in and out. EPC with Mookie Sturdivant, TJ Young, Byron Scales, Paul Pilgrim, and Malik Monk on the floor right now. And Daniel Rucker, as Scales sinks his second free throw attempt. On the floor for Mark Tree to start the second. Daniel Rucker, Terry Carter, Alan Buchanan, Connor Fields, and Ivy. Ivy with it, throws it in the left wing for Rucker. Rucker almost trips up. He's double teamed in the corner now, picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. He lost his dribble, went baseline with it, and it'll go out of bounds. And I believe that's going to stay right here underneath their bucket, the Mark Tree bucket, and Alan Buchanan will inbound it. Gets it in, down low to Carter. Carter goes up strong, right underneath the left side of the basket, and he'll go to the line now as he's fouled. And they're going to get Paul Pilgrim for his second personal there. And that is the 15th foul. As Terry Carter getting ready to shoot free throws here. First one on the way, and he nails it. Gets the friendly roll. Now 23-16. Alan Buchanan will come out and have a rest. And Chris Montague will come in as Connor Fields will also come out. And replacing him will be Cameron Mitchell. Carter at the free throw line, hit his first. Second one on the way, rims in, and it'll fall. 4 points for Terry Carter. 24-16 now, an 8-point lead for the Indians. And they have gone on a run here in the second quarter and at the end of the first. 6:19 as EPC works it around the perimeter. 3-point shot from the right corner from TJ Young, no good. And on the other end, Cameron Mitchell, a fast break attempt. Shot no good. Montague with the offensive board. And on the putback, he is fouled. He'll go to the court. And now he'll go to the line. And they're going to get Byron Scales with his first personal foul. Now 16 fouls on EPC here in the first half. Montague at the line for the first time tonight. First one on the way, sinks it nothing but net. I said first time tonight. He was 2 for 2 in the first quarter, now 3 points. And I think Coach Hill of EPC is going to take a timeout. So we'll take a 30-second timeout with him. 6:07 left to play here in the first quarter. 25-16 your score. Mark Tree on top of EPC. We'll be back in a moment with more of your Barton Power Sports Big Game on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Sometimes, less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more.
That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever.
To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more.
Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Andy Manus back here with you as Montague missed his second free throw. And on the other end, EPC is going to throw it away, but Mark Tree just threw it right back to him. Malik Monk gets it to Sturdivant. Sturdivant with a shot off the glass, counted and one. Now Sturdivant will go to the line, and they're going to get Cameron Mitchell with his first personal. Now that's 16 fouls on Mark Tree. Sturdivant 6 points, make that 8 points, trying to make it 9, and he misses the and one opportunity off the back of the rim. A bit too strong for Mookie Sturdivant, 25-18, trying to get the Warriors back in this one. 5:40 left to play in the first half. Right wing, Montague with it, tries to feed it down low for Ivy. Ivy spins in the paint, guarded by Mookie, and Mookie's going to send him to the hardwood. So Ivy will go to the line now as Mookie picks up his first personal foul. And Darius Ivy going to attempt to extend this Mark Tree lead right here. Mark Tree on top right now by 7, 25-18 with 5:30 as Coach Hill is arguing that call with the head referee right now, and Ivy's going to miss his first free throw opportunity. 7 points in the game for Darius Ivy thus far. Second one on the way, and he's going to get that one nothing but net. 1 for 2 on that trip. 8 points in the game for Ivy. And now an 8-point lead for Mark Tree. Malik Monk on the right wing, bounce pass to Young. Young skip pass to Mookie. Mookie's going to get it up top for Malik. Now back to Mookie. Mookie drives, floater. Shot no good. Ivy with the rebound. Going the other way now. He's going to get it in the corner for Rucker. Rucker getting around TJ Young. Tried to feed it down low for Carter, and it'll go off EPC. Now Montague with it. He feeds it down low for Carter, and Carter with the easiest basket he'll probably have all night. Shot off the glass with his left hand. Good for 2. And now a 10-point lead for Mark Tree. 28-18. And EPC better get back in it quick. They've only scored 3 points here in the second quarter. Shot from the right corner from Young, no good. And right there with the offensive board and the putback, Byron Scales, good for 2. Now the lead trimmed to 8 for Mark Tree with that EPC bucket. The Indians with it in the front court. They tried to feed it down low for Terry Carter once again, knocked away. They'll maintain possession, and Montague underneath the bucket's going to get called for the charge. Chris Montague sent TJ Young to the floor there, and Young had his feet set firmly, and now he'll come out of the game. And the Scales brothers back on the court, both of them now. 17 fouls apiece. The next foul will send somebody to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Skip pass now for Scales in the corner. Now he's going to back it up top for Malik. Malik back to Aaron Scales. Aaron is going to drive baseline, trying to get around Montague as he dribbles. It's going to go off Montague's foot and out of bounds. And that'll keep it right here underneath EPC's bucket. 4:02 left to play here in the first half. 28-20. And now checking into the game for Mark Tree is Brian McKinney. He'll relieve Terry Carter. There's an alley-oop attempt missed by Malik just over his fingertips from Mookie. And now going the other way, an offensive foul called on Darius Ivey. And oh, what a break for East Poinsett County, because Darius Ivey could have laid that one in easily over the smaller defender. He'll pick up his first personal foul of the night. And now 18 fouls on Mark Tree here in the first half. And once again here on the other end with East Poinsett County, that could have been one of the plays of the night. Mookie launched that pass to Malik as he was cutting to the bucket just over Malik's fingertips. Once again, if you've never seen this young man play basketball, you guys are missing out. Y'all have got to get out and watch this guy play. East Poinsett County with the basketball in the front court, trailing by 8, 3:40 left to play here in the first half. Mookie pump fakes the three-point shot, and offensive foul called on Mookie Sturdivant as he drives towards the bucket. Second personal on Mookie. And now 18 fouls apiece for both of these squads in the first half. Good job by Darius Ivey setting his feet in the lane and drawing his second charge of the night. Very talented young man, Darius Ivey. And now they're trying to get some of the moisture cleaned up off the court here to avoid any injuries. And now the ball inbounded, and running point will be Cameron Mitchell. Mitchell across the timeline. Working to his left, he'll be double teamed. Bounce pass to Ivey in the corner. He feeds it down low. And big man can't handle it. He'll dish it off to Terry Carter. Had it blocked by Malik. Now Mark Tree maintains possession. They'll back it around the perimeter. Cameron Mitchell picks up his dribble. He's double teamed. Now over to Rucker. Rucker feeds it down low. And another offensive charge, this time at the hands of Brian McKinney. And that is, by my count, the third charge in a row. We had 2 on Mark Tree and 1 on EPC in between those. And now a timeout called. I think Coach Barbara Wilburn wants to talk things over with her Indians. So we'll take a 30-second timeout with them. 3:10 left to play here in the first half. 28-20, Mark Tree on top of EPC. We're back with more action from the gymnasium of Mark Tree right here, all part of your Barton Power Sports Big Game on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Mom, what's wrong with the internet? Who's streaming again? Why is it so slow?
Why it's not working?
Mom, something's wrong with the internet.
I don't know.
Don't let your family suffer from a slow internet connection. With Ritter, you get the speed you need for online harmony. Speed matters. Get the highest internet speed only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to Mark Tree as the Indians lead East Poinsett County 28-20 with 3:05 left to play here in the second quarter. Warriors with the basketball right now. They're going to work it around the perimeter. Aaron Scales with it to his brother Byron. Back to Aaron at the top of the key, guarded by Carter. He'll move it to the left wing for Malik. Now Malik back to Byron. Now Aaron Scales with it at the top of the key. Scales feeds it to Mookie. Mookie closely guarded by Mitchell at the top of the key. Leaves it for Aaron Scales. Feeds it to his brother Byron for 3. Off the back of the rim, no good. And coming down with a rebound for Mark Tree is Brian McKinney. He'll give it to Ivy, and Ivy will run point for Mark Tree. And it looks like EPC going to run a little bit of half-court trap here as they force Ivy to pick up his dribble on the left side of the court. He feeds it to Rucker on the right side, and he throws it away, getting it to Ivy, and it'll go back court. And that'll give it right back to East Poinsett County. 2:12 left to play here in the second quarter. East Poinsett County has scored 5. Mark Tree has scored 8 here in the second quarter. 28-20 EPC on top. Wide open shot to the lane for Byron Scales, and he's going to pick up an offensive foul. I don't think I have ever seen this many charges this early in one half of basketball. That is about 4 charges in the last minute and a half of game time. Byron Scales with 2 personals now. And now 9 team fouls apiece for East Poinsett County and Mark Tree. Indians on top by 8, 28-22-05. Left to play here in the second quarter. Mitchell, running point, picks up his dribble at the timeline, throws it away to Pilgrim. Pilgrim brings it across, hands it off to Mookie. Mookie pump fakes the 3. Cross-court pass for Malik. Malik, a deep 3-pointer. Got it! Malik Monk. Unbelievable. And he brings his team to within 5. Now 28-23. Ivy across the timeline. A deep lob pass to Carter underneath the bucket. Carter's shot no good. Warriors going the other way with it now. Aaron Scales across the timeline, feeds it to Malik. Malik pulls up from about 6 feet out. Shot no good, a bit too strong off the glass. Tried to bank that one in over the shorter defender and had a good look at the bucket. Just couldn't get it to fall, and Ivy throws it away on the other end for the Indians. That'll give it back to East Poinsett County, down by 5. 1:19 left to play, and Mark Tree not playing defense. Quickly on the other end, Malik with a 3-pointer, no good. And McKinney comes down with a rebound. Malik tried to launch one up without Mark Tree being ready on defense. And quickly on the other end, a timeout called. Very smart play there by Darius Ivy as he fell down and was swamped by defenders and had the wherewithal there to call a timeout. 1:03 left to play here in the first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. 28-23, Mark Tree still on top. We're back in 30 with more of your Barton Power Sports Big Game here on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Make no mistake about it. Business is a race. The faster you deliver, the better. These days, old school is getting schooled. Northeast Arkansas is now doing business at quantum speed. Introducing Quantum, only from Ritter Communications. Try to keep up.
Under a minute left to play here between the Mark Tree, in the first half that is, between Mark Tree and EPC. Indians with the basketball right now, and Ivy with a shot underneath the bucket. He'll be fouled by the freshman Malik Monk. Monk picks up his second personal foul, and he's none too happy about that either. Didn't think he really touched Ivy on the way up, but Ivy will head to the line for 2 shots nonetheless. Andy Manus here at Mark Tree, courtside. So glad you're joining us tonight for our Barton Power Sports Big Game as Ivy sinks his first free throw on this trip to the line. Now 2 for 3 on the night from the charity stripe. Second shot on the way, and it's no good. Off the side of the rim, and Mookie will come down with a rebound. Pushes it up into the front court with TJ Young. 34 seconds left to play. Skip pass for Chris Whitfield, who's entered the game, and he's going to get called for the travel as he put it on the floor. Took a couple steps, but forgot to put it on the floor first. That hands it right back to the Indians. 29-23, 30 seconds left to play in the first half. Ivy gets the inbound pass. He'll bring it across the timeline. It looks like TJ Young's going to come out and guard him. Ivy hasn't brought it into the front court yet. Now he does with a bounce pass. They hand it over to McKinney on the right wing. McKinney has it stolen away by Malik Monk, and a quick foul called on McKinney there. That's his second personal, and with 10 team fouls, that is going to send Malik Monk to the line now for the double bonus. 29-23, 17 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Malik Monk at the line for the third time tonight, 2 for 3 thus far, and make that 2 for 4 as he's off the front of the rim. Malik Monk, of course, the younger brother of Marcus Monk, one of the outstanding athletes at the University of Arkansas, played a little football, played a little basketball, did a little bit of everything at the U of A. Now Malik Monk trying to follow in his footsteps as he sinks his second free throw. And so far, in my mind, Malik is quite an athlete. He's well on his way to becoming one of the great young basketball players in the nation. 29-24. Under 10 seconds left to play. Terry Carter with it. Feeds it up top for Mitchell. 5 seconds left. Ivy drives baseline. Feeds it down low for Carter. 1 second left. Puts a shot up at the buzzer. And they wave it off. Carter hit the shot at the buzzer, but they wave it off. And what a way to end halftime. Martree fans none too happy about that call. 29-24 is how we'll end the first half of play. Martree on top of their rival EPC by 5. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have some halftime scoring stats for you. All part of your Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Over the past 60 years, First Delta Bank has been a model of community banking to eastern Poinsett County. At First Delta Bank, our important decisions are made locally by people with hometown values and who know you as a person, not just an account number. Just like the fertile farmland of the Delta, First Delta Bank has a strong history and solid foundation of supporting our communities in eastern Poinsett County. First Delta Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Temps Plus Staffing, our business is a people business, and we're really good at what we do, whether you're looking for a clerical, industrial, or some other type of employment. Our staff knows where to find the right job for you that offers growth potential, benefits packages, and great pay. Stop by our office in Blytheville or Osceola, or check our website today. Temps Plus Staffing. Top jobs, reliable staff, great people.
Couldn't be any more perfect timing here at halftime. 29-24 here between Martree and East Poinsett County. The Indians with the lead over the Warriors of EPC right now at the half by 5. And man, it has been a highly competitive game between these two teams. Once again, I said it in the pregame. You can definitely tell by the atmosphere, not just by the crowd and the number of cars parked outside, but by the play of both teams on the court, just exactly how big of a rivalry this is. The 15-mile stretch of road that separates these two towns certainly didn't stop anybody from coming out and supporting their respective teams tonight. Man, what an outstanding game thus far. We'll quickly go down some scoring stats here for you at the half. We'll start with the East Poinsett County Warriors. They're led in scoring by the freshman phenom Malik Monk. He's got 9 points in the game. He is 3 for 5 at the charity stripe thus far. Jamar Sturdivant, Mookie Sturdivant, as he prefers to be called, the newest, one of the newest signees to play for Coach John Brady at Arkansas State. He's got 8 points here in the game, 0 for 1, missing an and one opportunity at the free throw line here in the second quarter. Byron Scales, the older Scales brother, with 3 points in the game. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Paul Pilgrim also contributing 2 points here in the first half. That makes up the 24 points for East Poinsett County in the first half. Just to list the team fouls, all of the starters have 2 personal fouls. Byron Scales, Aaron Scales, Mookie Sturdivant, Paul Pilgrim, and Malik Monk, each with 2 team fouls, or 2 personal fouls apiece. Then we'll go over here on the other side of the stat sheet for the Martree Indians. They're led in scoring by Darius Ivy, 9 points in the first half for Ivy, the starting point guard for the Indians. He is 2 for 4 from the free throw line. 6 points on the night for Terry Carter off of the bench. He's got 2 shots from the free throw line as well. 5 points from Connor Fields, 4 points from Daniel Rucker. Chris Montague with 3 points. He is 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. And surprised at this one right here, Alan Buchanan held to just 2 points here in the first half, and that is very uncharacteristic of Buchanan if you have ever gotten to see this young man play basketball. Just 2 points in the first half for him, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. To list the personal fouls, Alan Buchanan, Brian McKinney, and Chris Montague, each with 2 personal fouls apiece. Daniel Rucker, Cameron Mitchell, Darius Ivy, and Connor Fields, each with 1 personal foul apiece. Each team ended the first half with 10 team fouls, and Malik Monk took advantage of a double bonus opportunity down here near the end of the first half. He hit 1 of those shots. Once again, a highly contested game here in the first half. 29-24, Martree with a 5-point lead over East Poinsett County. EPC jumped out to an early 7-2 lead before Mark Tree went on a 13-2 run to end the first quarter, and it wound up being a 17-4 run, I believe, by the end of it. So 15-20, Mark Tree led after the first. 29-24, Mark Tree leads here after 2 quarters of play. About 2 minutes left to play here, or 2 minutes left in the warm-up period before we start the third quarter. So we'll take a minute and a half timeout back at the studio. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter of action for you, all part of your Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown.
Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10 p.m. At 7:48 p.m. weather start. This has now been upgraded to a tornado warning. We have confirmation of a tornado on the ground. You need to seek emergency shelter immediately. Take cover now. Move to an interior room away from...
Andy Manus welcoming you back to Mark Tree to start the third quarter of action, and the Indians open it up in a big way with a three-pointer from Connor Fields. Now 32-24 as Mookie misses a three-pointer. Alan Buchanan bounce pass down low on the other end for Ivy. Shot at the bucket, no good. Paul Pilgrim comes up with the board for the Warriors. Warriors now running from left to right on your radio dial. There's a three-point shot from Malik Monk, wide open, and I'll tell you, he doesn't miss many of those. And now the rebound, fighting for it. Mookie Sturdivant comes up with it, hands it off to Byron Scales. Scales off the glass with his right hand, good for 2. And now the lead back down to 6 for Mark Tree as they head into the front court. Ivy controlling the ball right now, leaves it on the left wing for Tyler. Tyler now double-teamed in the corner near the timeline. Gets it up top to Fields. Fields now works to his right, tried to feed it down low with a bounce pass on the right side of the lane for Chris Montague. And I believe they're going to get a kicked ball here. I think that's going to keep it with Mark Tree right here underneath their own basket, and it is. 32-20, or beg your pardon, 32-26 here in the third quarter of action. 6:40 left to play. Alan Buchanan triple teamed underneath the bucket, but he still finds a way to put it up and in. Now 4 points in the game for Alan Buchanan. The lead back up to 8 for Mark Tree. In the corner, Byron Scales feeds it up to Aaron. Aaron drives, puts it off the glass, good for 2. And a charge called on Aaron Scales, his third personal, and the charges continue. If this game was held by Visa, they'd be real happy right now, as many charges that have been called here in this game. Mark Tree with the basketball right now, 6:20 after that offensive foul. 34-26, Indians on top. Tyler double teamed near the timeline, and they're going to get a jump ball called for with Malik Monk. Monk in there getting it tied up, and he's turned around looking at the referee behind him who had his one hand held in the air. He's like, no jump ball. And the referee here on the sideline finally called it. That'll send it back the other way with the possession arrow. Warriors move it into the front court now. Mookie Sturdivant works near the far sideline. Now moves it back to the near sideline for Malik. Malik back to Mookie, back to Malik. Three-point shot, no good. Here comes Allen Buchanan. One-on-one with Mookie. He dishes it off to Fields. Fields will back out now. Bounce pass down low for Montague. He goes baseline, shot up, and had it stripped out of his hands underneath the bucket by T.J. Young. It'll go out of bounds, and they'll keep it right here with the Indians underneath their own basket. Allen Buchanan to inbound it. Feeds it up to Tyler. Tyler up top to Ivy. Ivy closely guarded by Malik Monk. Anytime he gets near that top of the key, Malik is on top of him. Now they work it around to the left corner for Montague. Montague up top for Tyler. Now they work it around for Ivy. Ivy bounce pass down low for Buchanan. Buchanan with a sweet hop step at the bucket. Puts a shot up and it's no good. They are going to get, I believe, Paul Pilgrim with the personal foul there. I don't know if that's the right call, as Mookie Sturdivant was the one in the area, but it looked like he flashed the 2-4 there, and that's Paul Pilgrim's numbers. That will send Buchanan to the line. First shot, good. Buchanan now with 5 points in this one. Held very quiet in the first half, only 2 points, and now he's got 3 here in the third quarter alone. 1 for 3 from the charity stripe, and making an even 50% as he gets the front of the rim, but it falls through on that one. 2 for 4 from the free throw line, and now 5 points in the game for Buchanan. There's a three-point shot on the other end from Mookie Sturdivant. Count it. Mookie with his third three-pointer of the game. 36-29. EPC still trails by 7. 5 minutes even left to play in the third. Fields on the far sideline with it for the Indians. Double team. Tried to feed it to Montague. No good. Buchanan gets the recovery. Hop step in the paint. No good. Offensive board from Montague. He'll put it up and in. Count it. Good for 2 and 1. And they are going to get Byron Scales with his third personal foul. And now quickly, already 14 fouls on EPC here in the third quarter. Montague at the line, and remember I called him the garbage man earlier, and that's because he's always there to clean up the mess underneath the board. And the and one opportunity, no good. Offensive board from Buchanan, put back, no good, but now he'll go to the line. And now that is the 15th foul on EPC here in the third quarter, and Pilgrim picks up his 4th personal foul, and he's going to have to come out of the game now, replacing him, getting ready to come into the game, the 6'4" sophomore, Zach Maddox. And Buchanan nails his first. Now Maddox is listed at 6'4", but I think that's a bit of an overstatement. He doesn't quite look 6'4" as Buchanan sinks his second free throw. Now 40-29, the Indians on top of the EPC Warriors. Malik Monk with it at the top of the key, dishes it off for Sturdivant. Sturdivant down low for Byron Scales. Had it rejected by Buchanan, but I believe Buchanan's going to get called for the foul, and he is. Personal foul on Allen Buchanan. He picks up his third, and that's just the first here on Mark Tree in the second half. 4:33 left to play in the third, 40-29. Indians starting to pull away here. Right now, Byron Scales has a chance to get 2 points and make it a single-digit game once again. Nails his first free throw, now 2 for 3 at the line tonight for Byron Scales. 6 points on the evening. Terry Carter will come in and relieve Allen Buchanan. Once again, Allen Buchanan is probably the only 5'11" starting center you will ever see in your lifetime. Plays like he is 6'6". Second free throw on the way. Byron Scales nails it, and now a 9-point game for EPC. Mark Tree up by 9, 40-31, with 4:30 left to play in this one. Bounce pass to Ivy. Almost threw that one away, did the Indians. Ivy has to pick up his dribble, feeds it for Fields in the corner, count it! Fields with a 3-point shot. 43-31. That's Fields' second three-pointer of the second quarter. And as Malik Monk drives to the bucket. He'll put up a floater, and he runs right into Montague, and Montague picks up a blocking call. That's his third personal foul, and I have got to be completely honest with you, folks. I don't know how they didn't call that one a charge. They have been calling charges all night long, and finally, the offensive team catches a break, and a blocking foul is called. I'm serious. I have never seen so many charges in one night. Malik Monk at the line. First free throw. Sinks it. 43-32. Malik Monk trying to make it a 10-point game once again. On the way, and he got that one as well. Malik Monk now with 11. He leads EPC, actually tied with Mookie Sturdivant, each player with 11 for the Warriors. And now double teamed at the timeline. They get it off to Ivy. Ivy dishes it for Fields in the corner for another three. Missed that one. Terry Carter with the offensive rebound, and Malik Monk steals it away from him. Malik Monk is going to slow down and let everybody catch up with him before he brings it across the timeline. Sprinting into the front court. Hop step into the paint. Shot off the glass. No good. Mark Tree gets the rebound. Going the other way now. Tyler with it, leaves it for Ivy. Ivy bounce pass down low for Montague. Montague tries to get it to Carter, throws it away. Mookie Sturdivant comes away with it. He'll push it into the front court. Leaves it for TJ Young on the left wing. Young with well, I thought he was going to shoot it. He actually passes it. Now they're working around for Monk. Monk from the right corner, no good. And Ivy comes away with a rebound. 43-33, 3-10, and now the pace is picking up here between Mark Tree and EPC. Ivy with it. Skip pass over to the right side of the court for Fields. Fields has his pocket picked by Malik Monk, and ball goes out of bounds. Mookie Sturdivant tried to save it, but no go, and that'll keep it right here at half court with Mark Tree. Coming out of the game right now, Zach Maddox. And coming into the game, Chris Whitfield, number 14 for East Poinsett County. Once again, Tyler double teamed at the timeline, throws it away. Fast break dunk, a whole opportunity. I think I jinxed him there. Malik Monk had an opportunity and had it swatted out of his hands. I got a little ahead of myself there. On the other end, Terry Carter can't handle the pass. Now they dish it out for Connor Fields. Fields with a shot baseline off the side of the rim, no good. And now on the other end, one-on-one, Malik Monk stops behind the three-point line. Shot no good. Mark Tree with a rebound. Pace still frantic here in the third quarter. And the ball goes into the backcourt. Jamar Sturdivant, one-on-one at the bucket, gets it to fall. Jamar Sturdivant with 5 points here in the third quarter. And Coach Barbara Wilburn screaming for a timeout. She was all the way out on the court asking for that timeout, and she finally gets it. We'll take a 30-second timeout with them, 43-35, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Malik Monk for jinxing that fast break dunk he was about to throw down a moment ago. Sorry about that one, buddy. We're back in 30 seconds here on 103.9 The Game, all part of your Barton Power Sports Big Game, also brought to you by Ritter Communications Tubetown, Channel 21.
Mom, what's wrong with the internet? Who's streaming again? Why is it so slow?
It's not working.
Mom, something's wrong with the internet.
I don't know.
Don't let your family suffer from a slow internet connection. With Ritter, you get the speed you need for online harmony. Speed matters. Get the highest internet speed only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to the Barton Power Sports Big Game here on 103.9 The Game, also brought to you by Ritter Communications Tubetown, Channel 21. Tune in next week for this replay of this exciting game. 43-35. Mark Tree on top of East Poinsett County. Indians had the basketball, but Ivy threw it away. That'll give it back to the Warriors. 2:05 left to play in the third, and here comes Mookie Sturdivant. He sprints into the front court. Leaves it for Whitfield. Now Malik Monk in the corner. He knocked the bottom out of it. Malik Monk with a three-point shot. 43-38 now. The Warriors back in this one. Malik comes out to guard Ivy. Ivy feeds it to Tyler. Now to Montague. Now to Carter down low. Carter double team. Dishes it back up top for Ivy. Ivy almost has it stolen away. Now he's double teamed by Malik and Mookie. Ball goes out of bounds. Referee says East Poinsett County basketball. The referees had to look at each other to confirm who it went off of, and they both made the decision it went off of a Mark Tree Indian. 43-38, EPC trails by 5. A minute 30 left to play in the third quarter. Sturdivant from behind the three-point line. Oh, rims in and out, and Mark Tree gets the rebound. Ivy. Long pass on the other end for Montague. Montague pump fakes, puts up a shot, and he's fouled, and Mookie Sturdivant can't believe it. They're going to get Mookie with his third personal foul of the evening there, and that will send Montague forth to the line. And Montague, man, he may not have the stats of Darius Ivy or Alan Buchanan, but I guarantee you he is one of the hardest working players on this court for Mark Tree. And that is one of the reasons he finds himself in the starting lineup every single night. First free throw missed by Chris Montague. 3 points in the game for Montague. Getting ready for the second one on the way. Cameron Mitchell is going to come into the game for Connor Fields. On the floor for East Poinsett County right now, TJ Young, Byron Scales, Mookie Sturdivant, Malik Monk, and Chris Whitfield, as Montague sinks his second free throw. 1 for 2 on that trip. Now 4 points on the night for Chris Montague. Whitfield with it in the front court for East Poinsett County. 44-38, three-point shot from Young. Shot no good, it'll go out of bounds and go the other way with Mark Tree now. Under a minute left to play here in the third quarter. 57 seconds to be exact, 44-38, as Ivy will walk it across the timeline. He'll be picked up immediately by Malik. Now on the right side, double teamed is Mitchell. Mitchell feeds it to Ivy. Ivy over to Tyler. Tyler now double teamed by Malik and Mookie. Tyler gets it out to Mitchell. Cameron Mitchell on the left wing. Double team now. Feeds it with a skip pass over back to Kedrick Tyler. And they're just trying to play a little keep away here. I think with 30 seconds left, Mark Tree content to take the last shot of the third quarter. Ivy with it at the top of the key. Feeds it for Tyler. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're playing keep away here at the end of the third. Up by 6. Mark Tree doing their best to keep it out of the hands of East Poinsett County. And now Darius Ivy, as the pass almost gets thrown away, Ivy recovers, takes it to the bucket strong, and gets 2 points. 3 seconds left for Whitfield. Gives it to Malik. Malik with a shot at the buzzer off the left side of the rim, and he almost hit it. And Malik is wondering why Whitfield didn't get him the ball sooner. But we will end the third quarter of action here in Mark Tree. 46-38, Indians on top of the EPC Warriors. You're listening to it right here on 103.9 The Game, all part of your Barton Power Sports Big Game. Also brought to you by Ritter Communications Tubetown, Channel 21. We're back in 30 seconds.
Over the past 60 years, First Delta Bank has been a model of community banking to Eastern Poinsett County. At First Delta Bank, our important decisions are made locally by people with hometown values and who know you as a person, not just an account number. Just like the fertile farmland of the Delta, First Delta Bank has a strong history and solid foundation of supporting our communities in Eastern Poinsett County. First Delta Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Temps Plus Staffing, our business is a people business, and we're really good at what we do, whether you're looking for a clerical, industrial, or some other type of employment. Our staff knows where to find the right job for you that offers growth potential, benefits packages, and great pay. Stop by our office in Blytheville or Osceola, or check our website today. Temps Plus Staffing. Top jobs, reliable staff, great people.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to the fourth quarter of action here on your Barton Power Sports Big Game. Mark Tree on top of EPC right now to start the fourth. 46-38 is your score. Indians with the basketball. Terry Carter with a three-point shot. No good. Alan Buchanan with a rebound. Offensive board for Buchanan. Feeds it out to Ivy. Ivy down low for Carter. Carter feeds it on the other side of the bucket for Buchanan, and Buchanan lost it on the way up. Could have been another easy 2 points for the Indians. Now, quickly on the other end, Chris Whitfield for the Warriors, setting up for Mookie. Mookie on the left wing has it stolen away. Cameron Mitchell puts up a shot, has it blocked from behind, and Darius Ivy gets the cleanup bucket. Great job by Mookie Sturdivant trailing down Mitchell and swatting that ball as it went up, but great, even better job by Ivy in putting it up. Three-point shot from Malik missed. Here comes Alan Buchanan, coast to coast. Shot off the side of the rim, no good. Offensive board, no. Malik Monk comes away with it. Tried to throw it off one of the defenders on the sideline, but the Warriors come away with it anyway. On the other end, Byron Scales launches a two from 7 feet out and gets it to fall. Now back to a single-digit game, 48-40 with 6:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Spin move at the paint, and Byron Scales just sent that one packing. Oh my goodness. Alan Buchanan had a spin move in the post to put the shot up, and Byron Scales just sent that one out of bounds. And now a little jawing going on the sideline between TJ Young and Alan Buchanan. And I think Coach Josh Hill wants a timeout, and he's going to get one. 6:27 left to play here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We're back with more action from Mark Tree as the Indians are on top of EPC 48-40. You're listening to it here on 103.9 The Game and Ritter Communications Tubetown, Channel 21.
Sometimes, less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to your Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game. Mark Tree on top of their rival EPC, 48-40, 6:27 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And Mark Tree has had this game in control for the majority of the game. They took the lead to end the first quarter and haven't looked back since, but now EPC trying to get back in it. Indians with the ball right now. They're working from right to left on your radio. Carter with the ball on the right elbow. He's going to feed it to Buchanan. Buchanan with a sweet post move. He's going to spin and toss it in for two. 10 points in the game now for Buchanan, and now a 10-point lead for the Indians once again. Whitfield with a floater. The runner no good. Offensive board fought forward, no good. Buchanan lost it. It goes out of bounds. TJ Young knocked it out of his hands. And remember, those two were jawing at each other a moment ago. And Young is going to create a turnover and give it back to EPC on their end of the court. Whitfield to inbound it. Gets it out to Mookie. Mookie guarded by Cameron Mitchell as Sturdivant works to his left. Now to his right with a crossover. Leaves it for Whitfield for three on the right. Elbow knocked the bottom out of it. Chris Whitfield with his first points of the game, and man, are they big. 50-43, now back to single digits. And the ball gets thrown away. EPC comes away with it, and a foul called on the Warriors. And that's going to, oh no, I beg your pardon. EPC had stolen it away, and they're going to get Daniel Rucker of Mark Tree with his second personal foul. That keeps it right here with the Warriors. Great job by forcing another turnover as the EPC defense turning it up here in the fourth quarter. Three-point shot from TJ Young, a bit too strong. Mookie with the offensive board, put back and one. Sturdivant will go to the line now. And I'm not sure who the foul got called on there. But Sturdivant will go to the line as he hit the offensive putback, trying to make this a 4-point game, 50-45. And one, no good, and Buchanan gets the rebound. He hands it off to Ivy. Ivy will run it across the court. He'll dish it off to Mitchell on the far side. Bounce pass in the corner. Now back to Mitchell. Mitchell up top, hands it off to Ivy on the weave. Ivy works to his right, now to his left in the paint. Floater off the front of the rim. Mookie with the rebound. Going on the other end. Bounce pass underneath the bucket for Malik, and it got swatted out of bounds. And it'll say underneath EPC's bucket with the Warriors. And that could have been an easy dunk there for Malik Monk. Great defense. Didn't get a chance to see who swatted that one out of bounds, but it was a 2-on-1 opportunity for East Poinsett County. Great defense played by Mark Tree. And now the inbound pass swatted out of bounds once again and into the stands. Great defense there from Cameron Mitchell, getting it away from Aaron Scales. 5 minutes even left to play here in the fourth quarter. Scales to Whitfield. Whitfield back to Scales. Scales, floater in the paint, no good. And Terry Carter comes down with a rebound. He'll dish it off to Cameron Mitchell. 5-point game, 50-45. Mitchell at the timeline, hands it off to Buchanan. 23 on 23 as Buchanan is guarded by Mookie Sturdivant. He'll hand it off to Mitchell. Mitchell works to his left. From the left elbow, back near the timeline for Buchanan. He'll bounce pass on the right wing for Ivy. Now Ivy barking out directions, calling traffic with his right hand. Now he works to his left, leaves it for Rucker on the left elbow, guarded by Whitfield. Whitfield is going to get called for the reach in there. And Whitfield knows it. He's calling himself out now because he knows he got called for the reach in there. 7 personal fouls now, 17 fouls rather, on EPC here in the second half rather, and that will send Daniel Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish. That'll send Daniel Rucker to the line now for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Daniel Rucker's first 1-and-1 opportunity, no good. Alan Buchanan with the putback, and that's no good either. EPC catching a break there as Buchanan did a great job on the box out. Deep three-pointer from Mookie Sturdivant, no good. Alan Buchanan with the rebound. He sprints into the front court. He's at the timeline, has it stripped out of his hands, but Cameron Mitchell will recover. Ivy with it right now. Dishes it for Rucker. That's where I got confused. We've got a Darius Ivy and a Daniel Rucker. Terry Carter with it now, feeds it to Rucker, up top for Buchanan. Buchanan wants to give it to Ivy and set up a play. Ivy at the top of the key. Hands it over to Cameron Mitchell. Mitchell works to his right and back to Buchanan at the top of the key. Now on the right elbow for Ivy. Ivy, bounce pass for Carter. Carter, post move through 2 defenders. Terry Carter puts it up in traffic, good for 2. 52-45, a 7-point lead for Mark Tree. 3:20 left to play. No look pass for Aaron Scales on the right elbow rather. And now he's going to launch a 3-point shot. No good. Mookie Sturdivant with the offensive board. Pump fakes the 3, drives baseline, shot off the glass, good. Sturdivant brings his team to within 5 here, 52-47, and a timeout called by East Poinsett County. 3:05 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And don't you dare touch that dial because we've got a basketball game here tonight. 52-47. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back with more of your Barton Power Sports Big Game on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Make no mistake about it. Business is a race. The faster you deliver, the better. These days, old school is getting schooled. Northeast Arkansas is now doing business at quantum speed. Introducing Quantum, only from Ritter Communications. Try to keep up.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to Mark Tree, where the Indians have a 5-point lead over their rival East Poinsett County right now, 52-47. 3:05 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Mark Tree will control the basketball out of the EPC timeout. Ivy crosses the timeline, guarded by Aaron Scales. Leaves it for Mitchell on the left elbow. Mitchell looking for Carter down low, feeds it to him in traffic, puts up a shot, no good. Byron Scales with a rebound. Mookie on the other end. He's going to be picked up by Ivy, works it to the left elbow for Aaron Scales. Strong dribble drive, shot at the bucket, no good off the front of the rim. And now double team. Terry Carter lost it, and I think they're going to get They are, as a matter of fact, going to get Aaron Scales for his 4th personal foul. And with 8 fouls here in the second half, that's going to put Carter at the line. And a bit of jawing going on now between Mookie and Darius Ivey. It's getting a little bit chippy here, folks. 2:31 left to play in the 4th. And once again, you can tell this is a rivalry game. Make sure you check out my Twitter account after the broadcast, Ando Commando 33. You'll see just how packed it was here tonight. Free throw from Carter, no good on the 1-and-1. Offensive rebound for Buchanan, and now he'll go to the line, and Sturdivant picks up his 4th. Terry Carter missed on the 1-and-1 opportunity. Alan Buchanan, for the 2nd free throw trip in a row, is going to get an offensive board. This time he gets fouled and he'll go to the line. And Paul Pilgrim going to come out of the game now. And TJ Young will come back into the game as Buchanan at the line will attempt 1-and-1. First one rims in and out. And actually, they're in the double bonus now. Beg your pardon. Missed the first one. Second one on the way. Nailed it. Buchanan 1 for 2 on that trip. The lead back up to 6 now for Mark Tree. 53-47, 2:20 left to play. Sturdivant with the basketball for the Warriors. They feed it to Whitfield. Whitfield with a 3, knocked the bottom out of it. Whitfield nails a clutch 3-point shot, his 2nd here in the 4th quarter. 53-50, 2:05 left to play in the 4th. Ivy almost lost that one out of bounds. Cameron Mitchell saved his hide. Mitchell at the top of the key, feeds it to Rucker. Rucker over to Darius Ivey. Ivey, strong dribble drive. And oh my goodness, Alan Buchanan just brought down the house. One-handed jam. Alan Buchanan brings it up by 5. Quickly on the other end, Malik Monk with a 3-point shot. This is getting insane, folks. Oh my goodness, this is getting out of hand here. 53-55 now. EPC trailing by 2. Ivy with the basketball. And Buchanan lost it. 1:20 left to play. EPC basketball. Malik driving towards the bucket. Puts up a shot baseline off the side of the rim. No good. Buchanan with the rebound. Feeds it to Carter. They throw it ahead to Ivy. Ivy with the finger roll layup at the bucket. Good. Woo-hoo-hoo! Everybody buckle up your seatbelt. Lean back, take a breath. 1:05 left to play in this one, and it is getting ridiculous. 57-53. A monster jam from Alan Buchanan, and on the other end, a 3-point shot from Malik Monk. And quickly on the other end, Ivy with a 2-point shot. This is back and forth action. 1:05 left to play here in the 4th quarter. And EPC wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here during this timeout. Unbelievable. This place went absolutely nuts with that Alan Buchanan dunk. And once again, folks, this guy is 5'11". You have never seen somebody 5'11" jump so high. Unbelievable. (57-53), a 4-point lead for Mark Tree here in the 4th quarter. And I mean, this place could not be any more wild than it is right now. All right, timeout is over. East Poinsett County comes out of the timeout with the basketball. Whitfield working across the timeline, now working to his left, leaves it for Mookie. Mookie at the top of the key, under a minute left to play. They're down by 4. Mookie, strong dribble drive, floater in the paint, good. Mookie Sturdivant hits it now, 57-55, 45 seconds left to play. And this is where you wish there was a shot clock in high school basketball. Mookie guarding Ivy at the timeline. Ivy gets around him, shot in the paint, blocked by Monk. Buchanan with the offensive board and the dunk. Allen Buchanan with 2 huge dunks here in the fourth quarter. 59-55. 25 seconds left. TJ Young on the left wing feeds it to Whitfield. Whitfield back to Young. Young to Malik. 20 seconds left now. Malik step back jumper for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Allen Buchanan gets it. 14 seconds left. And they're going to have to foul him. Coach Josh Hill screaming for a foul there. Allen Buchanan will go to the line with 9.7 seconds left to play in this one. And he's got a chance to put the dagger in EPC right now. And now looks like this is going to be a 1-and-1 opportunity. 9 team fouls rather on East Poinsett County here in the fourth quarter. Allen Buchanan at the line trying to seal this one away. And the first one falls through. 5-point lead for the Indians. And Allen Buchanan could have just sealed it. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, I know who is getting my vote for player of the game tonight. Allen Buchanan's second free throw on the way, and EPC fans feeling like they're about to lose this one, and rightfully so. Now down by 5, 10 seconds left to play. Rims in and out on the second one. Quickly on the other end, here comes EPC, Malik Monk. And he had it stolen away, and I think a foul called. They're going to get Malik with his third personal. And that will send Buchanan to the line, and now a bit of jawing going on. Buchanan looking at Malik, and a lot of jawing going on right now. I'm telling you, folks, this is getting chippy. Right now, Sturdivant and Buchanan going at it right now, and the referee's going over to Mookie and saying, hey, you got to calm down a little bit. Mookie is running his mouth. I don't think I've ever seen Mookie so flustered. And wisely, I think Coach Hill is going to pull him out of the game. All new substitutions coming into the game for East Poinsett County. This place is rocking, folks. 3 seconds left to play. EPC down by 5. And now Allen Buchanan at the line with a chance to seal this one for the Indians. This might have been the most exciting game I think I have ever seen. You have not seen high school basketball until you've seen the EPC Mart Tree rivalry. Buchanan banks the first free throw, misses it off the backboard, a bit too strong. Buchanan's second free throw on the way. Got it. And that will do it. There's the buzzer, shot at the buzzer, no good. Mart Tree has won the rivalry game against East Poinsett County. And now the teams will shake hands. And wow, what a game. And I'll tell you what, I don't see Malik and I don't see Mookie. Those two players are not out on the lineup to shake hands with Mart Tree. Ooh, we'll have to find out about that one. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with some post-game stats for you. Part of your Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game. The final score, Mart Tree 61, EPC 55. We're back in 2 minutes here on 103.9 The Game and Tubetown, Channel 21.
Big Creek Outdoors, your outdoor superstore in Bono.
Over the past 60 years, First Delta Bank has been a model of community banking to Eastern Poinsett County. At First Delta Bank, our important decisions are made locally by people with hometown values and who know you as a person, not just an account number. Just like the fertile farmland of the Delta, First Delta Bank has a strong history and solid foundation of supporting our communities in Eastern Poinsett County. First Delta Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Temps Plus Staffing, our business is a people business, and we're really good at what we do, whether you're looking for a clerical, industrial, or some other type of employment. Our staff knows where to find the right job for you that offers growth potential, benefits packages, and great pay. Stop by our office in Blytheville or Osceola, or check our website today. Temps Plus Staffing. Top jobs, reliable staff, great people.
Andy Manus welcoming you back to your Barton Power Sports big game here on 103.9 The Game in Tubetown, Channel 21. The final score tonight, 61-55, in what could have been one of the most exciting basketball games I have ever seen in my entire life. Back and forth in the fourth quarter. Mark Tree seemed to have the game well in control throughout the end of the first into the second and third, but EPC turned it on in the fourth quarter, and man, they came as close to within 2 points, but an absolutely outstanding effort from not only Darius Ivey, but our player of the game, Alan Buchanan. Unofficial stats for tonight, we'll start with the Mark Tree Indians. Connor Fields, 11 points. Chris Montague with 4 points. Darius Ivey and Alan Buchanan both with 17 apiece. Unbelievable effort from both of those young gentlemen tonight, and not to mention a couple of huge throwdowns from Alan Buchanan. Terry Carter with 8 points on the night, and Daniel Rucker with 4 of his own. For the East Poinsett County Warriors, Byron Scales with 9 points. Mookie Sturdivant led the way for the Warriors, but just fell short tonight. 21 points for Mookie Sturdivant. Paul Pilgrim had 2 on the night. Malik with 17 of his own. Chris Whitfield had 6 points on the night. And once again, Mookie Sturdivant and Malik Monk were not in the lineup at the end of the game to shake the hands of the Mark Tree Indians. And a lot of jawing going on at the end of the game between not just Malik Monk and Mookie Sturdivant, between those two and Alan Buchanan, but a little bit of jawing going on between Buchanan and TJ Young as well. So Buchanan, he's got a little bit of a mouth on him, I would say, kind of riling up the defense. But hey, when you're that good, you can talk trash if you can back it up. So we'll go ahead and wrap up our post-game show here from Mark Tree. Once again, the final score, the Indians over EPC, 61-55, the final. I'd like to say special thanks to Double D, Dylan Davis, back at the studio running the wheels of steel. Of course, my cameraman for Ritter Communications, Richard Bresler, executive producer for Ritter, Marcus Carlton. For those guys, I'm Andy Manus saying so long for Mark Tree. We'll see you next time on our Barton Power Sports big game on 103.9 The Game.